Well, so this was not the ending we anticipated in the form we hoped. We hoped fully well to stand in front of you at some day with the charges against Mr. Dulos ended by way of an acquittal. Instead, they were nollied incident or as a result of his death. We made a record sufficient to take an appeal. We will ask his estate for permission to take an appeal. We had hoped to proceed in his estate's name with the trial. Our courts recognize the defendant's right to object to a nollie because the defendant's reputation is uniquely sullied upon the lodging of criminal charges. Mr. Dulos' memory remains stained by these scandalous accusations, and we'd like a chance to raise them in an open court. Whether we get that chance is an open question and remains to be seen. I'd like to thank all of you for your courtesies along the way. You've been vigorous. You've been good advocates for the truth. We've tried to tell you as we know it. Obviously, the gag order was an imposition. We remain deeply offended by the Supreme Court's decision to duck the issue last week, and we are actively evaluating our chances of bringing that issue to the United States Supreme Court. As to the gag order itself, it no longer exists. There is no case or controversy. The order was never extended to the Troconis case or to the Mawhinney case. We will not comment on those cases, however, as they are not ours. Having said that, we had said in court today what we expected to prove at trial, and that is that if Ms. Dulos is in fact dead, we have reason to believe she met her end at the hand of third parties unrelated to Mr. Dulos and without his knowledge. Obviously, we were working on development of that evidence to present at trial in September. There will be no trial. We won't say anything further about that. As to the bags and the disposition of items on Farmington Avenue, we've said all we intend to say about that. We've said it in open court. So thank you all for your interest. Helen, I know you always have questions, and I'll probably never see you again after this case.
You did mention the bags and that there was a third party standing on the lawn. Can you disclose who that third party was at this time?
You're a great reporter, but not a really good listener. I said I won't say anything more than what we've said in court, so I can, but I won't.
When will you?
I don't know.
You don't have a privileged forum to air that theory at this point because there's no trial.
Correct.
So you risk a defamation claim if you do spin this theory?
I'm not worried about a defamation claim. I'd challenge anybody bringing an action against me to take his or her chances in front of a jury and recite that. So.
If you can't talk about the bags today, when will you? Can you give us an idea?
Mr. Dulos' death caught us both by surprise, and it's something from which you don't quickly recover. We didn't see it coming, and we cared deeply for him. The case against Mr. Dulos is over for the time being, and Mr. Smith and I have some healing to do. I mean, I'm not expecting sympathy, but it takes time to recover from the loss of someone you care about. So when we're thinking a little more clearly, we'll be in touch. So
Why did Mr. Dulos not tell the New Canaan police what he knew about the bags that he threw away?
It's not clear how much they asked. As far as we're concerned, had the case gone to trial, the conduct of his lawyer in giving a phone up, asking for it back, and the police not returning it tells us everything we needed to know. The police were less interested in truth at that point than in developing a suspect. They effectively stole his phone when he asked for it back. They said, we're not giving it back. We would have had plenty to say about that at trial. As to what he did or didn't do that day, great question. I wasn't there. I don't know. Don't know.
And the bags
real quick
don't
on
necessarily
a legal point, Norm, could you explain the difference between the nolle granted by the judge versus a motion to dismiss the case?
Yeah, so a nolle isn't something that the judge grants. The state has the decision about how and whether to proceed with the prosecution. The state made a decision which the law gives it permission to make, not to prosecute. That is a nolle prosequi, a nolle. You'll note the court did not dismiss the case. That's because we didn't ask for the court to do so. We didn't ask for that because we didn't want to be deemed to have waived any potential claims we'll have in another court later. By operation of law, 13 months from today, the case will be dismissed unless the state reopens it. We'll see where that goes.
What about the blood and the DNA evidence that was found in and around the home? How is that explained by the bag?
I don't know that it's explained. Anything in the home is explained by the bags. There were some trace elements found in the home. To date, the state has not disclosed to us any of that discovery from items found in the house, so I can't evaluate what the state never showed me.
In the suicide note that Fotis Dulos left, it said, "My attorney can explain what happened with the bags and all the patties."
Were you in court? Were you in court?
I was in court.
You heard what I said?
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say at this time. Thank you very much, guys.
Neil?
Do you think anybody believe that?